everyone, welcome back to my channel, Destination Lifestyle, where dining, eating, shopping, traveling, and indigo tales are gonna be shared to you only in this channel. This is Theodore, my little baby boy. Oh, he doesn't really like to be cuddled, to be carried like this, I guess. So, Theo, let me do the video first, okay? See you later. Hi. So, right now, today, with so many things going on between, with the issue of the Chinese manufacturers from China claiming that they are making the products for luxury brands in Europe and perhaps some other parts of the world. Here is what I want to talk to you about today. I've made my little list, and I guess I'm going to talk about the issue surrounding the claim of that incident from the manufacturers in China. Well, today I'm going to talk to you about what's been the hot issue here since the Chinese manufacturers are claiming that they're making the products, the luxury products for most of the brands that is available, like Hermes, Louis Vuitton, maybe Gucci. So today I'm going to respond to this ongoing hullabaloo about the craftsmanship and the high-end luxury items which are overpriced and blah blah blah, like what the other people on the internet are saying. So in this video, I'm going to share a piece of what I think on the topic. We know that today China and the US are currently at war, the so-called war on tariffs imposed, and several manufacturers in China, allegedly from China, are claiming that these high-end luxurious items, the one that we buy, are actually made by them, which in return causes quite a stir in the community and the social media. Some are simply right on believing it to be true and start to scoff at those who purchase these items, saying that they're stupid to buy them. Okay? Overpaying for what is actually worth much, much less, and many more other reasons. But listen to this, because what I say in this video, I hope would bring peace and closure to those negative vibes. Now, I'm gonna divide this segment into several parts. The first one's gonna be about branding and originality. Now, there are many marketing strategies, and branding is one of the most important factors in any business. Okay? If you want to target on certain class of customers, you gotta know what would make them look at what you're selling. That makes sense, right? And this is the story or history you create to impress them. So you make this story, you go through the time, improving your work, your products, and in the long run, it's gonna be the history that you create to impress these people. Like paintings, for example, not many people would understand how the valuing process to put that hefty price tag on them. Okay, so paintings would generally, would have their value over a certain period of time. And how to go through the process of valuing these paintings? If you know, please write in the comment section below so we can all learn from it. But like paintings, like I say, not many would understand how the valuing process would be like. Also, like how we are led to realize that drinking wine or champagne, you need a specific glass for each of these, so as to enhance the taste and the flavor of the drinks. And once this story is successfully told, then you can make money by producing specific glasses for each of these drinks. You can Google up, the industry that makes the glasses for champagne, cocktails, wine. Okay, they're making money because they make a story that we believe that you need all this specific glass in order to be able to enjoy wine much better. And if it makes sense, I think why not, right? So the point is that there is never anything wrong with creating a good branding or story or even history for any brand. Okay? And if you can show the original idea and make people believe you then it might just work. Like the Chinese manufacturers are doing right now. They are branding to get your attention that these goods are mostly made by them. And from what I see on YouTube, some of us just take this point blank and try to influence others with this story. So branding and originality are the two basic things, in any business to make it grow so that people would turn their heads towards the brand. Let me know of what you think about this first point in the comment section below. Let's move on to the second one. The second one, I would say, let's talk about the business and the quality. Now, from early age, we have all been told that quality products would cost more than the average ones. And so we live on looking at every edge and corner and even the stitching on the bags or whatever high-end expensive items that we buy, right? This is normal because we are taught to look this direction, and hence people are willing to spend more money on quality products. Then comes the business counterparts. The goal of any business is always to make as much profit as possible. And when there are opportunities to raise the profits, they would simply go for it. So business and quality. I'm providing you with 2 point of views here. The first from the consumer side, looking for quality worth every single dime of their penny, of the money. And from the business parts, which always look for ways to increase the sales, hence the profits would rise. Then enters the demographic of the demands of the market. When demands are high, prices would adjust themselves to keep up with the supplying procedures. Then the fear of missing out mentality in our society. These also affect the business strategies to up the price of the items in demand. So when there are more demands, of course, the price would go up and the production itself would encounter a certain extra effort to meet the market's demands. All this cause quite a problem in producing quality items, of course, although not in all cases, but in some cases this would happen. A different expectation from what it could have been from the demands when the demands are not high. So if you don't have, lots of demands, of course you can focus on the items that you are producing in a more delicate, in a more special way, instead of when the items are in high demand, which needs more production, and of course one thing would lead to another. Now, we the consumers at a certain point will have to justify this drop in quality control, because deep down we know this is simply the market talking. So the question is, do we still buy these products regardless of the quality drop, the quality control drop, as we presume? Of course we do. At least in my case, I still buy them, despite knowing that there might have been a drop in the quality standard. So which brings us to the next question. Why do people still buy? Why do I still buy? And that will go into the part 3 of this video, where we will talk about the ability and mentality. People spend for various reasons, and the power to spend definitely differ from one person to another person, depending on how much they earn, depending on their social statuses. Okay, so this point alone is divided into 2 groups, at least by my standard. The group 1, as we all know, are between the rich, the wanna look rich, and the ones who cannot afford. Okay, this group 1 is actually, we are very, we would easily understand, because they are the rich, the wanna look rich, and the ones who cannot afford. Okay, the group 2, which many of us do not realize, is although you are rich and has all the money in the world, but not every rich person can bring themselves to justify such hefty prices on luxury items. And this is all back to each individual's perceptions. Okay, now there are always the premium quality in almost everything sold out there in the market. You can always have the best housing estates, you can always have the best cars, the best yacht, the best neighborhood, the best high-end schools, the best universities, hospitals, luxury cars, luxury furniture, fine dining food, and many more. They are always the best in everything sold out there. Okay? Now, there is always a market for this high-end market for the people here. Okay, and we humans always love to improve and upgrade ourselves. So let's say today you are here, perhaps in a couple of years you're going to upgrade yourself to this level, right? And hence this scheme always works. It's magic. So if you get me right, okay, so although you are rich, not every rich person has the ability to justify buying something expensive. For example, they may spend a lot on their houses, but when it comes to the furniture that really goes into their everyday life, the experience of life at home, they might not find the price of a certain furniture, designer furniture, to be worth the money. Some would even rather spend on cars. Some would even rather spend on yacht. But for furniture, so this is just an example that although you have the money, not every single thing can be your priority in buying. So whatever we decide to spend our money on really goes down to one word, which is our individual perception of the things that we want to buy. And this bag is fabric in China. Okay, as you can see, it is written in the label here inside is fabric in China, made in China. This little piece of black cloth here. Okay,